Hello and welcome to my first video in which I will be covering one of my favourite characters currently in the first Descendant, Enzo. Enzo is a non-attribute skill character whose key arch ability is to summon a seamless and systemic supply flow of ammo using spatial awareness. Unfortunately, this is only small scale, so no, he cannot summon weapons of mass destruction or a fleet of tanks. Shame, as that would have been pretty class. Anyways, he learned about this power after being sent to support the 44th Grenadier Squad to provide ammunitions to help turn the tide of war over at Agna Desert. But he failed to do so after getting ambushed by the Vulgar, who ended up blowing up all the things and stuff, leaving him crying in the sand. Also realising he had not only failed to support his squad, but his only blood relative and cousin, Lepic, which he later finds out lost his arm during this defence operation. Ouch! This is when he started realising ammo was magically appearing on the ground, thus realising his arch powers had awoken. So, Enzo ticks a lot of boxes on the combat field. He offers great support to his squad, replenishing ammo, improving their weak point damage, firearm crit hit rate, and firearm attack. He also has an enhanced combat suit that makes him a pretty tanky character when used efficiently. Last and most notably is Enzo can dish out some insane damage. In this video, I'll share with you my core builds that I tested out for solo and group boss play, and a core mobbing build which will keep you in the game with consistent damage whilst keeping your team topped up on ammo and damage buffs. The footage you are seeing will give you a feel for the type of damage you will be dishing out, the uptime on your shield, keeping you deeply entrenched in the action, and a feel for the utilities being available on quick cooldowns with extended durations. Enzo is extremely fun to play both in solo and group play, and I feel he will be a key player for the upcoming Void Intercept battle against Deathstalker. Anyways, I'll let the footage play out and then we can jump straight into the builds I've put together, along with some recommendations for reactors and components. Hope you enjoy. First and foremost, apologies for the audio quality. This is kind of like the last week that I'll be on PlayStation. I'll be moving over to PC. Just waiting for all the gear to arrive to set up the new studio. So yeah, I promise the quality will be a lot better moving forward. Just bear with it this moment in time and deal with me sounding like a Welsh claptrap. That's probably what I sound like at the moment. So greetings, humans, and let's continue. Right, moving on to Descendant modules. So the first build that we're going to look at is the squad boss build. You'll see straight off the bat that the Transcendent mod that we will be using is the Supply Firearm Enhancer. This thing is top tier. It's absolutely fantastic. Definitely best in slot for Enzo. If you have yet to get this, make it your #1 priority to go and get it. You can get this over in Vespers, White Knight Gulch. In Vespers, you'll get it over in Timberfall. I think I got it on my 6th attempt, so I was really, really lucky. But I have heard stories of people 20 plus, which is brutal. So you're just praying to RNGesus you get it a lot sooner than that. One other recommendation I would make is that if you do come across a low mid-tier encrypted vault, leave it. Just leave it dormant and seek out the second. The idea is to keep opening that one. Because that one is left dormant as a low to mid tier, it heightens the odds of the other one becoming a ultra encrypted vault. That worked for me. Hopefully it works for you.
So what's so special about this Supply Firearm Enhancer then, Wintrinsic?
Well, I'll tell you, but I will. If we head over to the right columns, you can see Firearm Enhancer, which gives you 2 buffs. Weak point damage increase and firearm critical hit rate increase. This is for you and your squad, so hugely beneficial. You get a 15% weak point damage increase and a 29% firearm critical hit rate increase. You can see on this particular build, we get a cooldown of 7.6 seconds with a duration of 23.1. So that's how long the actual enhancer will be on the ground. Once you walk over it and activate the Fire Enhancer perk, that will remain as long as you haven't hosted the weapon and you've still got ammo in the weapon. Once you've depleted all ammo in that magazine, you will lose the buff. But trust me, if I'm around, there'll be another supply firearm enhancer on the floor ready for you. With the rest of Enzo's skill tree, first of all, we'll go over the explosive drone. So I purely use this for staggering enemies with like shields or barriers. Really good for doing that, and then finishing them off, especially if you've got the supply firearm enhancer, and just turn them into grated cheese, basically. Doesn't do a lot of damage, but I'll go over that in more detail when we get to it. The enhanced combat suit. So what I've done here is, the two fundamentals, reduce the cooldown, increase the duration. I think I've got this in a nice sweet spot. You've seen in the footage earlier that it's got me out of quite a lot of sticky situations. As soon as I proc it, I get that 25% initial shield recovery, which is really, really nice. And then over time, I get an additional 6%, which helps with the situation as well. Last up, we got perfect support. So you and your players, your team players that are in the vicinity will get the perfect support drone. This will replenish the ammo. A lot of people say it's infinite. I guess it kind of is when you've got it on a low cooldown. But the greatest benefit is the perfect support buff. You will get a firearm attack increase, and you will also get a firearm critical hit rate increase, both of 20%, which is fantastic, and a reload time modifier of 10%. All right, moving on with the build. So yeah, first glance, you will notice this is not a skill build. So no skill mods will be used. We are purely focusing on raw firepower. On top of that, we are making sure that we're having a reduced cooldown. We're maximizing the duration. We've got great survivability and a few mods chucked in there for additional firearm attack. So the first mod that we used was MP conversion for that reduction in skill cooldown. There is a mitigation with the 15% max MP, but I have got a way to counter that with the components, which I will share with you later. Again, maximize duration, additional skill duration. We don't have to worry about the skill power modifier reduction, so it's a win-win on that one. Nimble fingers for more skill cooldown. Then we have increased shield, HP, and defense for reasons. Skill extension for additional skill duration. Passionate sponsor. I love this one, especially with group play. If you're using Nazi's Devotion, this helps towards the buff as well. Shoot your teammates, replenish a bit of their shield, add to the buff. On top of that, you will get it also from putting down your supply firearm enhancer and initiating perfect support. So this all helps towards putting stacks towards Passionate Sponsor. A must in my eyes with group play. Next up, we have shot focus, firearm attack 15%, skill power modifier, don't have to worry about that, win-win. And lastly, we're increasing the shield, so this is a heavily dependent shield build, so we're getting that extra 158% and we're losing a bit of HP. But all in all, I think I found a nice middle ground and it all works really effectively. Okay, moving on to the weapon. So basically best in slot for me, what I like to use is Enduring Legacy. I also love Greg's Reverse Fate, more so for mobbing. I find it great for that. Afterglow Sword, so if I'm playing from a distance and I'm just getting a few shots off, yeah, I can do some massive damage with that. These are the ones I tend to go for. Back end stuff, yeah, Wave of Light, I tend to go with that as well. And Nazi's Devotion. Sometimes Python. It's kind of like the first weapon I really invested into the game, so it's kind of near and dear to my heart, but these are kind of my go-tos. If you would like to see any videos on these in the future and see what kind of builds I've got for these weapons, I'm more than happy to do so. Just leave some comments for me and I'll have a look and I'll see what I can do to help you guys out. So a quick look at the reactor and external components. For the reactor, we don't have to worry about what weapon we've got mounted. We are not interested in skill power boosts, so this is of non-interest. All we're focused on is the two perks at the bottom. The one I got was skill effect range and skill duration up. If you are fortunate enough to get skill duration and skill cooldown, then congratulations, you've hit the Enzo jackpot. I have yet to get this, but it will do for me for now. But yep, I'll keep trying. For the components, I've gone 2 sets of 2. So I've gone 2 Annihilation and 2 Bravery. This gives me the skill duration increase of 5.7%, along with HP recovery at 1.8% and a max shield of 11.9%. Another thing to point out is you can see I've got the MP recovery in and out of combat. This is stellar. Honestly, I think these are slept on. If you can get these alongside like max HP and max MP and the defense, etc., oh, you're onto a winner, trust me. This includes the MP recovery modifier, and also I've got the shield recovery modifier, which is great also. So all in all, this gives me 32k of defense, just over 4k in shield, and 6k in HP. All right, let's move on to our last two remaining builds. Let's take a look at the solo boss build first. There's only one change here. We've changed out Passionate Sponsor for Walker Tightrope. This is now possible with the Season 1 Quality of Life changes. We can now add up to 3 sockets, I believe, per mod slot. So that has made this possible without any pain or heartache. The great thing about Walker Tightrope I find in solo play is you can reduce your HP below 50% to get that additional 30%. There is a trick to do this from the get-go. If you head over to your components, for me, I always change out my Orc's power. So just unequip it, re-equip it. This is going to deduce 891 HP stats, which will put me below my 50% threshold, allowing me to proc Walker Tightrope. The stats are the same also, so we're still rocking 30k plus on the defense with 4k shield and 6k HP. Lastly, let's take a look at our mobbing build. So there are 2 changes, I believe, or 3 changes. Yeah, 3 changes on this one. So I've gone with Regen Boost, which is complementing HP Collector. So we have got one on our components as well. With the harder content, the increase in ad density, I thought this would be a nice fit, and it does actually work really well. I'm a big fan of it. And we've also changed out shot focus for Battle of Stamina, so we just get an additional HP as well. So we're really getting that stack up with HP Collector. And that's it. So hopefully these builds have been of interest, and hopefully my information has been pretty clear and provided some clarity and some excitement about putting an Enzo build together in the future. I guess I could finish off by saying, if you've enjoyed the video, like and subscribe. I'm happy to make more content. This is the start of a new journey for me, so any feedback would be much appreciated. I can only learn from here, and look forward to answering any questions you might have. And yeah, as they say in Flandau, ciao for now.